Welcome back to another video. So I saw something on Twitter that really resonated with me and I wanted to go ahead and make a video about it. So this woman on TikTok is going viral because she posted an entire 2-minute video basically crying, literally crying. I mean, you can see the tears in her eyes right now in this video, just crying, talking about the fact that she voted for Trump. Her family knows that she voted for Trump. Her family is completely against Trump and her family basically disowned her. Now, the reason why this is so relatable to me is because I'm actually in a very similar situation. Kind of, not really. I mean, I didn't disown anybody. Nobody disowned me. However, I voted for Kamala Harris. I am a Democrat. I used to work for the Democrats here in Illinois. My brother, my father, and my sister, actually more than that, my two brothers. Yeah, my two brothers, my sister, and my dad all voted for Trump. And I don't like it. I don't. I think it's ridiculous. I think they're crazy. If I could be honest, I do. I still love them to death. I'm not going to disown my family because they voted for Trump. We'll get to that in a second. But first, let's go ahead and play her video and then I'll react to it. Here we go.
My grandma just sent me a very sad text. It broke my heart. And my mom has yet to text me back today. My point of making this video is to say that I am very happy and I expressed how happy I was. And I'm not going to be sorry for that. I'm completely heartbroken that my family is taking it how they are. I never did this to them when Biden won. Never. But I am done with political posts. From here on out.
That's pretty much the end of the video anyway. Okay, so this is actually kind of sad. So she voted for Trump. She lost basically her grandmother and her mother, who she seems to love very much. And I guess what she's basically saying is her mother and her grandmother will not speak to her because she voted for Trump. Now, just to be frank here, I disagree. I think that's terrible. I think that's dangerous. I think that's just doing way too much. And I can relate because my family voted for Trump too. And I didn't. I voted for Kamala. I think people who vote for Trump are crazy. That's just my opinion. I do. I really do. I don't understand it. I don't know how anybody could vote for that guy. The crazy guy who ran around saying that the freaking election was stolen, got all these criminal cases, got all these felonies. I don't think Trump's good for the country. I really don't. But anyway, the reason why I will not disown my siblings or my father because they voted for Trump is because even though I do think they voted against their own interests, and I do think that they voted against my interests, and I think that because them and many other people voted for Trump, it is going to lead to some things that could potentially harm me as well as people that I care about. Yes, I truly believe that. But I don't think that they're bad people because they voted for Trump. That's really what I think. I think my dad, my brother, my two brothers, and my sister, I think they're just misguided. Because we had these spirited debates in our family chat when they first revealed that they were voting for Trump. Now, just for some context, this is another reason why I don't think they're bad people. They used to be Democrats. All of them. My dad, his entire life, voted Democrat. My sister, my two brothers, Democrat. As a matter of fact, one of my brothers, who me and him went to the same college, was a Bernie bro, just like me. We were young college students in our early 20s. We were Bernie bros. And, you know, I don't think my brother's the only person who supported Bernie Sanders and is now a supporter of Trump. I mean, look at Joe Rogan. Way back in the day in like 2016, Joe Rogan was a supporter of Bernie Sanders. Later on, Joe Rogan ended up now recently endorsing Donald Trump like a day before the election. And so I think what's happening is, unfortunately, you have a lot of people who flipped from Democrat to Republican. And this is why I think the context is very important here, because you can easily say, "Oh, these are terrible people." You know, my family member, that one family member, two family members who voted for Trump, I don't like them, whatever. But you got to really dissect and look at this, because I can look at them and get mad, or I can look at the fact that it wasn't just them. There were so many other Democrats who voted Republican as well and flipped for Trump. Just go look in the state of New York and New Jersey. There were crazy swings to Trump in deep blue states, some of which we've never seen ever. For example, in New York, Biden won by his margin of victory was like 20 points, right? It was something like that. I'm paraphrasing here. I'm guessing because I don't remember the exact numbers, but I was reading it. So bear with me here. But in New York, 2020, Biden won by like 20 points. Again, this is a deep blue state. In 2024, Kamala only won by like 8 points. Like the margin of victory shrunk significantly from what Biden had. And you saw this in a bunch of other states. You even saw this in Illinois where I live. The margin of victory for Kamala Harris versus Biden shrunk significantly. And some of the people who voted for Biden in 2020 voted for Trump in 2024. I think it's important to look at why that happened instead of just automatically casting these people as bad people. Now, again, I do think they're crazy. I just don't. I think Trump's crazy. So if you vote for Trump, I think you're a little crazy too. It's not to be insulting. I just strongly don't agree with that. I think it's ridiculous for you to vote for Trump. But I don't think you're evil or a bad person because you flipped or voted for Trump. That's just at least I don't think my family is. Actually, I know my family's not, because I grew up with my siblings. I've known my siblings since I was born. One of them I used to hold because he's like 6 years younger than me or whatever. I think he might be, whatever. I don't know their ages, but he's like 6 years younger than me. I think he's like 24. I used to hold him when he was a baby. Like, I grew up in the house with him. And now the guy voted for Trump, but it is what it is. Anyway, the bottom line is I think that, when we had these conversations, they would often say the same thing that I think a lot of other people are saying of why they voted for Trump. The economy, we didn't feel, we weren't happy financially under Biden. Our pockets were getting completely destroyed. And there is some truth to that, unfortunately. Again, I think that Biden's economy is completely blown out of proportion. People say that, his economy was so bad. It wasn't that ridiculously bad. And this is just the numbers. You can look at the numbers. Like in terms of job growth, he did great with that. Wages grew more under Biden. But the one thing that does hurt him is, yes, under Trump, inflation was like 2 to 3%. Under Biden, it peaked at like 9%. Like, it was insane. And that crazy high inflation caused the price of goods and essentials like food and water and meat and bread and stuff to go up so high, and as well as gas prices, that people dreaded going to the grocery store because they knew they were going to spend a few $100. Like, they were going to spend 100% more than what they spent back under Trump. And I get it. And there's other reasons for that too. Like, I come from an extremely Christian family. So my dad and my other brother, the one who's about 2 years younger than me, those two are very strong in their Christian faith and their Christian beliefs. They are very strong in that. They strongly believe in the word of God and all that. And in their opinion, they think that the Democrats have pivoted away from the word of God. That is what they believe. They believe that Trump is more aligned with the Bible and the word of God. So their reasons for voting for Trump are a little bit more religious. The reason why I'm breaking this down, because I don't want to go over this whole soliloquy here, even though I kind of just did, but the reason why I'm breaking this down is because I think it's important to unpack why people did what they did instead of just downright saying, I'm just going to completely disown them. You're a terrible person. You can still have your opinions. Don't get me wrong. I got my opinions on them. I'm kind of giving them the side eye like, who, Lord? But let me make something clear too. I do want to get this in. Unfortunately, in this country, she's not the only one going through this. There are going to be plenty of people who Thanksgiving and Christmas is going to be rough. One thing I appreciate about my family and love is we all still talk to each other in the chat. We all still talk about other stuff. Nothing's really changed for us. And based on what I've seen in the family chat, I know that nothing is going to change for us on Christmas or Thanksgiving. Now, my goal will be to avoid talking about politics. I would rather not talk about politics this Thanksgiving, as well as this Christmas. That would be my goal. Hopefully we can do that, because normally when Christmas and Thanksgiving time comes around, that's pretty much all we talk about. We talk about what's going on in the world, and we talk about politics. I would like to avoid that this time. But besides that, based on what I've seen the activity in the chat, it doesn't look like anybody's upset with anybody. It looks like everybody expects who each person voted for, and that's how it should be. Seriously, that's really how it should be. You shouldn't be completely disowning your family over freaking who they voted for. Anyway, let me go to one last video. I know this was kind of a long video, but I really wanted to just kind of say how I really felt about this. I saw this video, and you have this person named Joy. I think her name is Joy Ann Reed. I think that's her name. I don't know, but my mom watches her a lot. She loves this woman. But this lady was on MSNBC, and they were basically essentially advocating that it's okay if you disown your family because they voted for Trump, which I disagree with, but let's go ahead and play the video. Here we go.
I mean, just from a psychological standpoint, being around them. We got the holidays coming up.
So I love that you asked this question because, you know, there is a push, I think just a societal norm that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going into a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who you know have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why, you know, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me. And I actually talk to, you know, adults as well as
or like I hear what she's saying. I strongly disagree with that. Sure, you could take the route of, you know, whatever she said. I have to protect my peace and my space, and you guys voted against me and everything that I stand for, so I got to stay away. So that's the reason why I'm not going to be with you guys for Christmas, Thanksgiving. You could take that route, or you could just say, hey, I still love you guys. I want to be together and everything. Can we just, for the love of God, not talk about politics this holiday season? I think that would be the better way to go about it than what she said. I think it's kind of ridiculous to disown your family and not come around for Christmas and Thanksgiving because you don't like who they voted for. Everybody votes. And I'm going to tell you why I don't like what she said too. I'm going to tell you why. Even though I think that my siblings and my father and whatever, they voted against my interests and their interests, and I think it's ridiculous. It doesn't matter. They feel like they made the right decision. They feel like they voted for what they wanted. And who am I to, you know, scold them and you know, separate myself from them because I disagree with their voting choices? Again, I think it's ridiculous, but I'm not going to separate myself from my own father because he voted for Trump. Like, could you imagine that? The guy who was involved in my life and raised me and helped me through certain hard times in my life and was there for me in certain times. Can you imagine out of all the things my dad did for me? Oh, well, because you voted for Trump and I strongly disagree with your political affiliation, I'm just not going to talk to you. Like, can you imagine that? You're going to throw away decades of family and relationship over a voting preference. Again, I'm not saying people who didn't vote for Trump shouldn't be looked at a little crazy, because I'm definitely a little sad at it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not disowning them over that. And I think it's actually kind of a shame that MSNBC would even put this person on here and kind of advocate for that. I just think that's weird. I think it should be the opposite. I think MSNBC should be saying, well, hey, I understand you may be upset with your family members. Maybe take some time before Thanksgiving and Christmas and kind of calm down. Kind of take some time away from them. Maybe don't communicate with them too much. And then get your mind right. Get over it. Accept what they did and love them anyway. And when the holidays come around, go around them. And if you really are that bothered, tell them respectfully, I would like to not talk about politics this holiday season. Or if you're going to talk about it, I will step out. Something like that. I don't see what's wrong with that. I feel like that's a way better way to handle it than this doctor right here basically advocating, you know, it's perfectly okay if you don't want to talk to your mom. Like, what? Not talk to you? Like, that's crazy. All right, let's just keep playing. We're going to play a little bit more.
Advising parents for children. I mean, I think, you know, I don't think that you should force children. I don't think you should force adults to be around people just because they're your family. I think there's a level of, you know, need to establish boundaries. And if you feel like,
yes, I agree. You should not force people or your children or whatever to be around family if they're toxic or they're problematic or they're crazy or something's wrong with them or they're just not pleasant to be around. I completely understand that. I feel like we all got people in our family that ain't that pleasant to be around. I get that. But saying that you're forcing your family to be with them or whatever, the way she worded it, just because of who they voted for, I don't think that's forcing. Like, bro, go see grandma. Like, it's go let your grandkids see your grandma. Don't keep them away just because she voted for Trump. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to give my opinions on this entire thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments as always. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.